Every penny tossed in the lake, the same wish I would make. I'll never look back and wonder where you came from. I looked for you in every single crowd. Before I saw your face, knew your name. It was written in the stars above the clouds. I wished for you like children do. Slow motion in the snow, on my knees years ago. I let you know the world stops and I see birds. That's what you said. You're such a nerd. But if it still does, then I still do. I'll never look back and wonder where you came from. I look for you in every single crowd. Before I saw your face, knew your name. It was written in the stars above the clouds. I wished for you like children do. I wished for you like children do.
Hey,
Look at you, Sam.
here I am. How's it going?
I'm like the biggest fan. I'm like the biggest fan now. After like research and everything, I'm like fanning out right now.
Oh,
Hey, Jim.
Yeah, how you doing? That's very nice.
How are you guys doing? Absolutely.
how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Where are you guys coming to us from? Like what city?
We are live in Santa Monica, California. Actually,
Love it.
Big Ben is Santa Monica.
Live. We're sitting.
We're sitting
down in California.
I love it. I love it. So obviously, Jim and Sam, excellent band, husband and wife. You know, for my audience, new album, Good on the Other Side, out May 5th. A really special album, guys. I heard it. 11 breathtaking tracks, guys. It really documents so much of your life. So, you know, it was kind of like a coaching experience, Jim and Sam, to hear some of the songwriting and the details of how your life has evolved. It was really great.
Thank you so much.
so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, Jim and Sam, you know, I was watching your award-winning movie the other day because you guys have a great movie and people can rent it on Amazon Prime and stuff after so many days. And you said something, Jim. You say that is the price you pay for living on the edge.
Yeah.
And that kind of caught our attention, right? Because I was thinking to myself, like, man, like, you guys, the past 5 years have been so full of contingencies for everybody. But this skill of risk taking and kind of being uncomfortable, being comfortable with being uncomfortable, like that must have served you guys really well as a couple and in life, right?
Yeah, I think. Well, just to be clear, living on there's people who live way more on the edge than what.
It's all relative.
It's all relative.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's something crazy. You know, for those who haven't, for people who don't know us yet, we played one show every day for a year, and we made that film, and we filmed every single day, and every day there's anyone who's a performer, and they're not even a performer, anybody who has to show up to a job that at a moment endorphins kick in and they have to sort of public speak, or they have to be in a meeting, or they have to be on stage. You have this thing that happens, and then when you turn that off, it's like a faucet. It's like an energy, and it's just dripping out of a faucet. And when you turn it off, your body has nowhere to put it. And once we were done with that tour, not being uncomfortable every day, not having that rush, I started getting hives. I started having these weird things happen in my body because my body was expecting it. So you get really used to it. And
No, but what was nice is we had the film to jump into and make. But I actually think what we learned from that, and what we're actually we actually are going back now and looking at the footage and seeing kind of deleted scenes and these kinds of things, and when we look back at that now and we're trying to be like, okay, how do we take what we did and apply it to our life right now? Because that's the biggest takeaway of the whole thing. It's like, how do you do this crazy thing and then not just have to do that crazy thing every time to continue to have that feeling of living on the edge or taking a risk? Like, how do you take a risk in your everyday life without going on a tour? We play one show every day for a year. And I think that's kind of where we're at now. Like, how do we take that and sort of apply it to where we are? And we're working on it. Yeah. But I think that's always we look for it. We look for that feeling of like, oh, we want to feel live. We want to feel connected. We want to, yeah, like if it's gone too long and we haven't done that, we're searching for it.
Yeah. Is that why, Sam, and we'll get to the new songs in a second, but is that why, like in the movie, there's, there's scenes for people that haven't seen it, sorry, but like you guys play in a nail salon, you guys play like in a gas station. Like, is that why, like the search for that endorphin that James speaks about?
Yes. Yeah, basically, we had so many moments in that tour where we would have a run of shows booked and we'd be playing shows and your traditional shows in a bar, in a venue, and we weren't getting that feeling for whatever reason, the audience, whatever. And then we started seeking it out. If a show got canceled or we needed to find a show, there would be a day where if we went in and if the two of us, what we started to judge a show was, did we fully show up to that moment? If you're in a gas station, are you really fully present with the person that's at that gas station? And are you connecting with them on a level with that it doesn't matter. You could be in a 3,000 seat theater or you can be at a Chevron and the person's buying a pack of gum, yet you're about to share a connection. And that's what, to speak to those things.
I love it, Jim. Thanks for clarifying that. Yeah. And how is your daughter, by the way, Sam?
She's great. She's
great.
She's the best.
Is she in that locale with you guys? She's not.
She's actually at school right now for the day. She's not at school today. Today she's at school, and it's been such a crazy thing going from living our lives just so the two of us and then having her, and it's just this totally different thing. And it's been a big shift, but it's been a really cool shift. And I think having somebody that you have to show up for and kind of is depending on you for survival, it gives less room to do the things that you need to do. But what's cool is now in the limited time that we have, we really make the most of it. And it's like, cool, we have 3 hours, like let's record it, let's make a video, let's go do whatever it is. And I think actually, even from doing that tour, we've learned like, okay, like all it takes is a little switch. Like you just go, you do it, don't overthink it, show up and do something that makes you feel good, that makes you connected to the music. And I also think that's something that we want to show to her too when she gets older. Like it just takes a little moment to change the day or to kind of connect to the thing that makes you feel really good it's really cool in that way.
I love that. Yeah, you can change your state in an instant. That's really, really great, Sam. But, going deeper on that a little bit, Sam, I have a lot of friends here in Nashville, musician friends, kind of my age. I feel like maybe like our same age, mid-30s and such, that they're like, a couple of them well-known, that they're like in that phase that they don't have kids. They tour every weekend. They tour festivals, from here until like November and stuff. And they're afraid that there's a fear of, being a successful musician and having children. How has it been, Sam, like, for you to actually take that leap and you be able to like say it from the other side and you're still creating an amazing album? Is the fear warranted? Like, what are your feelings right now on this?
Is the fear warranted? I had that fear too. We both had that fear. Just the fear of, is this going to hold us back? Is this going to, and in some ways it does, but in other ways it totally opens you up and it just allows you to be like, oh, I can't do things exactly how I could do them before, but I can do them a totally different way. And actually, I think we have been doing things before in that way for a really long time. I'm being kind of vague, but it's nice now that she's here. It's like, oh, like instead of doing that huge long run of shows in this very instant, like you can pick and choose and be like, okay, like we're going to do this. I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with all that. And then just to speak to the fear component, because that was a massive piece of it. And that's also, we waited, quite a long time to have her. And some people say once they have a baby, they're like, I wish I didn't wait. I wish I did it sooner. I do not feel that way. I'm very, very happy. Hazel's the greatest thing in our life, period, end of story. It's like, it's every cliche rolled into like the biggest mountain of cliches. That's where she is in our life. But that fear beforehand, I think one thing that really helped when we did our tour, we did this thing that as far as we know, no one had ever really done before. And because of it, we got to write our own rules and got to be our own band. You know, we have these people we look up to and we admire. And I think part of it was really exciting to basically create this path that the people we admired had never done. So it was like, we're not trying to be them, we're trying to be us. And I think when Hazel arrived and when we started thinking about it, it became this exciting thing as, okay, how are we going to continue to create and continue to, you know, and as you see in that tour thing, we are having to pivot throughout that tour the entire time and change, you know, everything. And the goal on that tour was, let's finish this tour and we had his end goal, but then every day had its own little goal. And right now our end goal is a lifelong goal of raising this beautiful daughter around art, around music, around creativity. And I have no idea what that's going to look like yet. But so far,
It's going to be amazing.
So far, it's this album, you know?
Being your daughter, I can only imagine the beautiful flower that you guys are giving to the world. So yeah, we're very lucky as a society to have her. But Jim, let me pivot to a few of the new songs here, because I mean, there's so many favorites. But let me ask about a couple. I mean, Space for the Stranger, you know, destined to be an instant classic. I mean, a song like this, and I have to ask you, Jim, I mean, lines like, you know, because in no time there will be someday, you know, as she waves from the car driving off somewhere far, you know, all the places she will go live. I mean, my chills have chills just thinking about it, that song.
Thank you.
A song like this, Jim, does it almost come like a miracle? Like, I remember Paul McCartney got, like, you know, yesterday, like at 3 a.m. and he's sleeping and wrote in 5 minutes. Or is it the opposite? Is it like, Sam, we have a beautiful jewel here and it takes you like months to carve it out because it's so precious?
That song flew right out. We have a 2-bedroom apartment that we live in, and the second bedroom had been a studio, had been an office, and when Sam was about 6 months pregnant, one night we were taking everything down off the walls. We were packing up the gear to basically put it into the room we're in now, which is a hot water heater boiler room, essentially. So, and that's what now is the music room, is this little tiny box. And we were just sitting there going through tour posters and you know, again, this was during the pandemic too. So we basically had the combination of not touring and not being able to tour mixed with getting ready to bring this baby into the world, and we were physically making space for her. And then downstairs we have this upright piano. What happened?
Well, yeah, no, Jim, like it was the next morning, and we had just been. Our dog had just walked into the room. Hello, Pico. We were taking all these things off the wall. And the next morning, I woke up and I heard Jim kind of twinkling at the piano, and he started with that first couple of words, like, do you remember Late Night in Boston? And he had a cup of coffee sitting there, and we just came downstairs, and that song just came right out. I mean, it was just like it was just it was one of those things that was just like, oh, this one is just writing itself.
Yeah. Wow. What a feeling that must be. And Sam, the other one I wanted to ask you was about Leave Los Angeles for Good this time. Mm-hmm. And the reason I like it so much is, you know, LA is a beautiful city, magical city. You capture the current dilemmas of the city so well that we don't, you know, the ups and the downs of the good things and the bad things of the city. Yeah. How did this song come about? And I know you guys are like Angelinos at heart, so I think it comes from like a loving place. How did that song come about?
It does come from a loving place, but we literally toy with the idea of leaving Los Angeles every day. We never leave, and we're probably never going to leave. But I think we like keeping that door open a little bit. And we have like a complicated relationship with the city. You know, I think to a lot of people who live here, I think it gives you a lot and it can take a lot away. And it's, I think after you have a kid too, there's something, you know, you look at a place and you're like, is this the right place to be? Like, you know, you even ask even harder. And so that song kind of came from a place of, is this where we want to be? Do we still love this place? Is it the right place? Yeah.
And also as a band that has toured, spent a lot of years on the road, like I feel like the two of us feel as though we've grown the most when we're not in Los Angeles in a weird way. Like, so it's always been this place to come home to. And then I think not being able to leave for a handful of years over the past couple of years.
Sure.
There's been these moments of feeling like is growth being stunted, or and it's just this. But it is as much as it is called Leave Los Angeles for Good this time, for lack of a better phrase, it is a love letter to the relationship we have with it. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so
Yeah.
It's like a family member that you love, so you can kind of criticize for growth.
yeah,
I guess.
exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that weird.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a weird cousin.
you guys have been so good with the time, and I think you guys may play a song for us. But I have to ask you the one love question, because you guys are the most beautiful couple. I want to ask you not how you guys met. I know you guys met at a comedy show. You got a mutual friend, but I want to ask about when Jim. You guys were friends when Jim professed his love for Sam in that Scandinavian playground. Like, I need to know like both versions here, like that show in Showtime. Like, Jim, you must have been a nervous wreck, and and Sam, I just gotta know some details here.
Well, Jim, Jim professed his love, and I
Professed.
we were so close, and we were such good friends, and we were playing music together, and he just kind of said it, and I was kind of quiet, and we didn't go there for a long time.
You're in a band, you're working together.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say.
Yeah, so I like, and I was like, kind of was like, you know what, like, this isn't gonna happen right now. This can't really happen right now. So we waited like almost a good year until after that moment, until I was like, okay, maybe I can't like control this anymore, and maybe I just need to jump in and see how this goes.
And to go back to the fear question that you started off with, right? There was a fear that, if this becomes a relationship, the relationship will get messed up, and then the band will break up, and it'll be over.
There was so much, there was so much at stake with
That are together in a relationship end up breaking up.
Yeah.
And so there was just all this stuff tangled.
There was a lot of that was complicated. It was a complicated confession from Jim.
It was a high risk but high reward situation there. So good on you, Jim.
Thank you.
Good on you.
That fearlessness spirit that we began with. So be more like Jim.
Yeah.
I do not do that.
Well, guys, you guys have been so amazing with your time. Thank you. If you guys are up for it, you guys want to take us away with a song, that'd be great. Are you guys down for that?
Yeah, we'd love to.
Let's see if I could just shift.
We're gonna ask our dog to leave the room. Is that okay, Pico? He can stay? Okay.
The tour manager Pico, he's making sure the stage is down.
He does. Do we need to switch places?
No, we got to see. Get her. Okay. Thank you so much. And you're in Nashville right now?
Yeah, we're in Nashville based. Thank you, guys.
Singing this pearl. And the spreads here a bit.
You want to introduce yourself?
This song's called Like Children Do, and it's on the record. And it's
Speaking actually on the topic of taking risk, this is kind of our first real like love song, right? I mean, we had other love songs, but this is like our
in the first 2 years of with anyone who, when you having a kid is torturous, and it also makes you spend very little time on yourself and very little time on the relationship that you have.
Right.
This was kind of a song where we paused and we realized we needed to
hear it. We needed to hear this song, so we wrote it for that.
Yeah. Here we go.
"11:11 on the dime. I held my breath and watched the clock until it stopped. Birthday candles on the cake, every penny tossed in the lake, the same wish I would make. I'll never look back and wonder where you came from. I looked for you in every single crowd. Before I saw your face, knew your name. It was written in the stars below the clouds. I wish for you said you're such a nerd, but if it still does, then I still do. I'll never look back and wonder where you came from. I looked for you in every single crowd. Before I saw your face, knew your name. It was written in the stars, the clouds. I wish for you like children do. I wish for you, I still do. Looking up, I'm staring into space. I float away on a star that's shooting across the sky. I wish for you like children do. I wish for you, I still do.
Unbelievable. Yeah, guys, thank you so much. That was just incredible, magical. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, Jim, Sam. Have a great day and see you soon, hopefully.
See you soon.